Hello guys, you are welcome back to my channel. This is going to be the continuation on our scholarship journey. So far, I believe we are actually making obvious progress. And in the previous video, we actually talked about how you can successfully transform your resume into a winning and strong academic CV. Okay, for some of us who actually watched the video, they reverted. Then I got some positive remarks from them, and which actually made me feel proud that we are making progress. And if you have not watched that video, believe it, you are definitely missing out. Okay, so in today's video, we are going to be looking at how you can successfully research school. I mean, not just researching school alone, looking for school that has the capacity to fund you, one. And again, this video is going to take you through how you can successfully figure out the right PI or supervisor, and how you will successfully get your research areas in the course of choosing a supervisor in one way or the other. So overall, this video will go a long way because there are some other perks you will discover in the course of in the course of it before you get to the end. And significantly, this process is going to assist you in the course of your code emailing to professors and grad school. Okay, because if you don't do your research, there's no way you're going to be able to to reach out to these people. And exactly this process, this strategy is what I recommended to multiple of people precisely, and they've actually taken advantage of it, such that the kind of response they got from from the school by the time they follow this process, it's something really amazing, and it's exactly what I used too. That resulted to the admissions that I have from Kansas State University and University of Arkansas at Little Rock, and some other ones too. So even though not all of them really gave the funding, but then just make a reference to this just for you to know that it's a process that works and that is trustable. Believe it, you're gonna love it. So before we get started, in case you are just seeing me for the first time, I am Tobie by name, and this is Tobie Content. In case you've not subscribed to my channel before now, I heard you, do like, comment and subscribe to my channel, because I can't afford to miss the secrets I'm actually unleashing on this channel. Now, can we begin? Hey guys, you're welcome back. I decided to come up with this outline to facilitate the discussion. We've got a lot of things we could have considered, but then I just don't want to keep it to the minimal. So for those of us who are still wondering what graduate school is about, so graduate school is actually about, majorly, we have 3 programs that you can actually go for, which is master's, doctoral, and postdoctoral programs and others. So basically, it depends on what you actually want. Now, the first item on the list has actually been taken into consideration. So we now have distinctions between master's degree and PhD and comprehensive research process. So where we'll be looking thoroughly and deeply into what's actually how you can successfully make a meaningful research of a school and getting an intended supervisor, basically. So now, under the distinction, I feel it is actually necessary because of those who are still doubting about which of the two they should go for. You understand? So just a quick check, I think you will be able to to make a quick decision whether or not you actually wanted to settle for master's degree or a PhD. Okay, so that is why I feel it is relevant. So once we are done with that, we're going to dive into comprehensive research process, which is going to be the end of it all and the essence of being it precisely. So you're going to love it, obviously, trust me. So now let's begin. First and first, I want us to understand that what brought us to this is simply because we actually wanted to make a distinction between the 2 main programs that majority of us are actually going for, so which are masters and doctoral program, so doctors of philosophy. So for some of us who are still doubting which one should they go for, so I feel it is actually necessary to quickly talk about it. So we can see I try to make a kind of distinctions by looking at certain metrics So from the aspect, we have level of education, duration, focus, thesis durations, and some other things. So which I feel are actually important points to look at. So for instance, looking at the thesis part, which is actually for master's degree, it requires a thesis or final project. However, for a PhD program, it requires a substantial research dissertation, right? So that's one thing that looks similar. And the duration, master's degree is meant to last for 1 to 2 years max, and for PhD it's between 3 to 6 years. So these kind of things are things you actually wanted to look at. Okay, talking about the endpoint as well, master's degree can actually lead to various roles in industry, while a PhD leads to multiple ends. Now, one of the growing concerns on this journey is the fact about the requirements. Some applicants will be like, do they need to have a master's degree before they can actually apply for a PhD program? I'll tell you for free, you don't need a master's degree to apply for a PhD program in the US. So it is unlike any other universities around the world. So why the basic thing for master's degree is actually the bachelor's degree, and for the PhD too, it's actually like that in some cases. So it's really amazing, because I don't really expect this kind of thing to happen. Here comes the most important part, which is financial support. For master's degree, it is less likely, but for PhD, it is 100% possible that you get funding. But ever since the Trump administration actually started, we knew we all saw what happened. Okay, now let's move on. Now, last but not the least is a specialization segment. I think I made a mistake adding academic path and requirements over. So for the specialization, we can say master's degree has a wide range of specialized programs, while for PhD, you're actually meant to face a specific topic. So it is what makes the difference between the two. So at this point, I really want to believe that we've been able to address what makes the distinction between the first one and the second one, and you should be able to decide precisely which one is your focus. And it is not just about a question of the money I actually wanted to get, because PhD gets a whooping amount of money, to be honest. So but then you really want to consider your strength as well. So what are you most capable of doing? So you don't want to do it because other people are doing it too. Do check your capability, because you don't want to start and get stuck in the middle of the way. So do your homework. Now let's get started with the big deal. So the first thing I'm going to say is that there is no straitjacket to how you can actually go about researching schools, but this process I'm going to show you is actually a proven method that I've actually used, and I've shown some other people and it worked for them. Obviously I don't believe in magic, but then it's a common say that it works like a magic wand. So if that is the case, I'm going to be using the same strategy for you, so that you can try it and see how it works. Now here we go. University of Massachusetts is actually one of the universities that I applied to, and the response was actually a favorable one. So it's going to be the case study, and I would love to take us through the way everything actually went. This is the email I got from the doctor that I reached out to, as in just to tell you how effective this method is. So but before that, let's quickly do some certain things that you're going to find useful in the course of your research as well. Now, your first research should be through Google. Let Google be your friend. Obviously, you can search for certain things like funded scholarship in the US. Then you get the list of schools that you can actually research by yourself. So this list that you have here from the web search, they are very good, they are insightful, they can assist you in the course of your research, but then they aren't so thorough until you do it by yourself. Get the names of the schools, each one of them from here, so that you can research the way I'm going to be showing you to get to the nitty-gritty of this. Now let's come back here. We're going to be making use of UMass, okay? And one thing I want to tell you is that no two schools, universities, websites are actually the same. They are interlike. So you might spend minutes trying to navigate the content of a website at times, but what you need to do is that when you land on a page, you just really want to explore what is happening, what do they have, and some other things. And the basic thing is that most time you will always find what you need under academics, okay? So go under the academics tab, then you will see where you can actually get the graduate programs, so which is actually the concern here. So under the graduate programs is where you get the courses you want to be you want to take, and where you begin to look at the programs information and the people in the department. So basically 3 things: the graduate programs, the funding, and the people. So those are the things that are primary in this research, okay? So now this is the first page we're gonna deal with. Now I'm gonna choose communication as a course choice, okay? So now let's explore the programs and see where communications actually lies here. So okay, I think the page is loading. Okay, down here, yeah, now here we go. So now, having seen communication, we need to, because each department, all these things you see here, each of them is actually representing a departmental page, okay? So you need to visit the site and read more information about the course, the people. When I say the people now, it means the faculty, because it is among the people in the department that, the faculty that you're going to pick your supervisor. So now let's go to visit site, so where we'll see the full information about the website, the department website. Now lest I forget, one of the mistakes you don't want to make is to go and apply directly. That is brutal, and it's it's going to land you into disappointment eventually. So you ensure that you get the consent of a PI or supervisor before you do that. So it's very important. Now what we're going to be doing here is that we want to look at the details of the website, so which is the Department of Communication. That's where we're going to. So we're going to view what is happening on that page. Then we want to look at the the details, the faculty. We'll consider the faculty, we consider the funding, and we want to figure out the research interest of these people as well. So this is where we have the information now. Now let's choose the people, so where we will figure out the faculty. So this is the people, then let's pick the faculty, then we have the faculty. Now these are all the faculty in the Department of Communication. So I just take a glance over them, but then I already chose a particular supervisor, who is Saram Havley. So this is a person that actually liaised with, and I mailed her. There are certain things that I did differently with her that actually got me fascinating to her, and eventually we've corresponded. And these are things you really want to look at. So this is the email to contact her, and this is her research interest. Okay, she has interest in what? Digital technology, culture, and innovation action. So you really want to look at this particular aspect. If it aligns with what you actually wanted to do, then you go ahead, you copy it down, so that when you are composing your code email, these are certain things you want to be talking about in the course of your email. And you can go further to check out the publications of this faculty if possible, and because some of them will have personal website that you can actually explore to see more about what they've done, their accomplishment and likes. So then that is that about that. Now You can decide to check another faculty if the first one doesn't have a research interest that aligns strongly with you. So that is, it's just a normal thing. So you keep checking until you find the right one. So for someone who is going to be mailing, if you decide to mail more than one professor or doctor from a department, you ensure that you carry them along, that you've actually mailed a particular one before. Okay, so nothing is bad about it. Now let's check out the funding. How do you get funding? You have to go to the graduates link on that department again, and you'll figure out where funding is. So that is funding. So the school says it has departmental teaching and research assistantship. So typically each admitted student is funded for 5 years for 10 semesters. So this is just to tell you this department is a potential department to go to, and you definitely get funded eventually. Now that's everything you've got to know basically. Now you can just explore the rest of the page for personal consumption, and once you are done with it, you get started, and that's it. So literally this is everything you need to know about how to research a school, research a professor, the research interest, and funding capacity of a school. Thank you.